The Black Panther. It's Chillmonger. I know it's 5 a.m. I'm caffeinated. I'm talking this John Romita cover. Appreciation for the artist up there. I guess that's the most legendary of John Romita's ever drawn up there. I've also got variant covers here from the Stormbreaker. Chris Allen. Yeah, kind of looks like his interior art. There's a crazy glare. Tell me how you're supposed to see with no glare. And we got this. Now it's got the plastic on it, but it's no glare. It's all about the angles, baby. I'm appreciative of these variant covers. In the comic book, we get a straight up. What is the name of this character? Natima. He hits her with a huge line to begin with. I do not wish to continue fighting you, Natima, or should I call you Besa, is what he says there. The name being revealed is actually like a huge deal. He knows his name because he's a detective, because man, this is T'Challa. We don't fool around with T'Challa. And could they have kept that in issue number 2? Yes. Why didn't that happen? Maybe this comic needed more pow. After reading the whole thing, I could confirm, yes, it was very wise to pull the name reveal until issue number 3. It just because this was not that it was lacking terribly, but it did need more. It's not a fault of the artwork. You can see here with the yellowish orange hue over this. There's some detective work because there's this bad guy who's like a crime boss named Baba Nikusa, Nkisu, Nikisu, I should say. So Baba Nikisu, big deal, man. It's an understatement to call him a crime boss. He's the bee's knees bad guy. He's gonna be our top villain, it feels to me, after this. So there's kidnappings and crime families, which is why Natima is why she got involved with this case. She didn't know that it was the real T'Challa, and he kind of confirms to her, I'm the real T'Challa. Oh, okay. So there's this huge wedding that's happening here in Berlin T'Chaka. Berlin T'Chaka is really this weird part of Wakanda that is different. It's like a separate place from the rest of Wakanda. It has its own culture, and that's good. If we think about places like Montreal, and we think of places like Calgary, one's got all these cowboys and wannabe Texas, and this other little French province who wants to be isolated from each other. Same country, different places. Even if we look at smaller countries, I'm sure places like Tijuana is different than Mexico City. I'm sure places like Sicily has its own kind of culture than Rome. Okay? Those are some small countries that I know about. Now, in this wedding that's upcoming, it's going to be the greatest union Wakanda's ever seen. And fake T'Challa, a.k.a. Ize, he's like, what, more than Ororo and T'Challa? No? Really? Did he take that personally? Is he like, okay, so like the people, they've got their own culture. I'm over here sitting on my throne, believing what I believe, what I think is important. And then there's these guys. It reminds me of in real life right now. There's like this Twitch streamer boom. You look at what Kai Cenat was able to do in New York, for lack of a better words. He was able to do it. But that's unheard of, right? That's like if Dwayne Johnson said the same thing, you might get that reaction also. But there's just a culture that's happening underneath here. This TikTok influencer stream things that these guys who are below the age of 30 are into. And the people who are above the age of 50 have no idea what you're talking about. They're like, well, for Leo DiCaprio, sure. Or for Angelina Jolie, of course. But for this guy, what does he do? He just sits in his home and he streams? Or they just do the dances and they have all these influence? Really? They're getting them deals? That's weird. Why was Pokimane in the movie Free Guy? I don't get it. There's an audience there. So some guys tried to rough up the shop. Hey, we need a cake by tomorrow at the wedding. You're going to be catering it. You got 1 day's notice. And Ize was like, T'Challa stood up. Great, good to see, and he kept his composure. So like, it's interesting to read T'Challa try not to break character, but also do what's right. And yeah, he would be able to defend what's her name, Faiza, unfortunately, she's booking the wedding, but it gives them an in because both Natima and T'Challa wanted to be part of that wedding, and now they have a reason to be there. So hey, good writing. At the wedding, beautiful dress, very nice looking over there. Loved it. Loved looking at that. Something about yellow. This the flashback here where it looks like she leaves home. There's a crash. Yeah. Maybe there means that the parents were fighting. We'll get more into that. But either way, if there's a crash, you're like, oh, trouble. So we know she's escaping somewhere. There's some pictures on the fridge. On not the fridge, on the board there. You can see her doing these athletic feats as if she's some sort of gymnast in Wakanda. Something about Wakanda is they always wear colors. You can see her wearing the green leggings. You can see just whenever there's a group shot of people, they're always wearing colors. If you go out in the streets in your local city, you'll see people wearing the dull gray or a black, something like a dark blue. No one's really there being vibrant, and when they do, they're kind of eye-catching. And Wakandans, from what I've seen, even if it's not a wedding, so these guys are not at a wedding, they're just at work, and everyone has a different color, triple tone clothing that they got on. Let me find a picture of them on the street. Here at the Quito market, there's a green, there's a red, there's like a blue. Everything is being there. The whole rainbow is just in Wakanda, and we don't do that enough in our regular everyday lives. I'm wearing a blank white, you know what I mean? Just think about the clothing I wear in my last video and the last video. It's always just like a one tone. Yeah, there it is. These guys fashion it up. So when it's a wedding, the fashion's crazy. Here's someone who goes on and she's like, the whole entire world is here at Wakanda. And that's not a Wakandan. You think Wakandans care about the rest of the world and their opinion of it? Or that it's some sort of validating experience that, look, the whole world is here. Nah. This reminds me of the T'Challa and Aurora wedding. The guys on BET, maybe it was Sway, but they definitely made it look like there was some real life reporters there from media personalities there, and they're like, the entire world is here for the wedding of the century. That's what an American would say, and this is an American right here, or somewhere where they speak English or something, because this person is definitely not a Wakandan going, this is great. You know why it's great? Because people from all over are here. The reason why people from all over is because in the wedding, this crime family has international connections where they make their money, and so for that reason, I'm sure like all the different families that you do your business with are going to be invited to the wedding here in Wakanda. Wakanda hasn't closed its borders since, as far as I can remember, borders haven't been closed during Coates' run, because Coates, remember that last few issues where he invited all these superheroes to save Wakanda, even though they weren't Wakandan? Remember that thing? Yeah. So, again, with the colorful dresses, everyone's wearing what they're wearing. It's a wedding. So if you like artwork and you like to see the more of Burnin' T'Chaka, you got what you got. Deathlock pops up. Deathlock's here to fight T'Challa, and I would have liked to see some fighting with T'Challa or Black Panther. I didn't get to see Deathlock fighting. When he hopped on the scene, man, this guy looks ugly. This just, the wrinkles are everywhere. It's going to be tough for Chris Allen to consistently draw the wrinkles on Deathlock. Whether he does it or not, I'm not going to nitpick, so if I see the forehead wrinkle going this direction isn't going that direction anymore, or if the weird dots that are on the top of his head if that's not there, those circles, I should say. So those circular things, if they're not at the exact same position that they were in this image, I'm not going to care. But they do look for that, like editors at Marvel. And the lines are, I'm here. And this appears to be Deathlock. Next time we get a showdown at the wedding. Glare. How you feel about this comic? I thought it was lacking, but it wasn't a waste of money either. I thought, what's happening with Nibusa, not Nikisu, Nbuyu? We haven't seen him since issue 1, so I don't remember his name. Oh my god, what is his name? Someone in the comment section, his name. What happened to that character, man? He was Chanjamir's son, and we haven't seen from him. Is he doing something off panel? So like when we do see him in issue 4, he'll have like updates, and we'll say, oh yeah, he must have been doing that during issue 2 and 3. Which, actually, that's not a bad idea. Have a character be off screen for a little bit, then they come here, and you'll never have to explain what the process of what they do. They can just come here with, here, I invented such and such, and you'd be like, it must have been what he's been doing in 2 and 3. So you wouldn't be wasting pages, because you only get 20 per comic, and you're using it to advance a character without them actually being there. That'd be a cool touch, I think. Yeah, that's actually pretty sick. I've been Chillmonger. You can become a channel member for $1, and you can be part of the live stream How'd I do on Sunday? On Sunday, we're going to talk Black Panther. I'm going to invite a panel of couple of guests. If you want to be in that live chat and contribute there on the live chat, all you got to do is become a chill member, and that's what you get. If not, I will edit that video and crop it, and it won't be an hour and a half like the one I did last week was. And you'll get an edited version released on YouTube like everyone gets a couple days later. The Black Panther. Hey, about that video game for T'Challa. It's not going to be T'Challa. I saw them do another statement, and it doesn't look like they're like, no, don't worry, fans. We're doing a Black Panther video game, and it'll be T'Challa. They didn't say that. They're like, don't worry, it'll still be authentic. You can bet your bottom dollar we'll make an authentic Black Panther game. We're years from development. If they want to make a Black Panther game that pleases everyone, and they've got enough time to switch over and be like, okay, we'll do an actual T'Challa video game. And now's the time. It's not too late. It's not going to be an expensive thing. We remember how the Sonic movie trailer came out and it was trash. Well, they were so early in development. All they had to do was fix a couple things and you could get regular looking Sonic, cartoon Sonic. And they did that and it was a successful movie which got a sequel and we're looking at a third. When we're early in development, if there's a fan base who are vocally exercising their rights to free speech and complaining, okay? If they're offering you that free of cost and you're choosing to do damage control, you fool, just listen to this audience because you're going to make 64% of what you could have made.